Okay, guys, last talk for today from our friends from Dengan. And it will be Wild West with Django and Python. Thanks, Dennis, for coming.
Thank you.
And we are curious about your presentation. Applause for Dennis.
Hello and welcome. As Theo said, my name is Denis. I work at Django, and I'm a backend web developer. And this presentation is about Django framework and what we can do with it. We have for about 7 years of experience on this framework. And I will give you our experience and some cases. What is framework? Framework is open source, written in Python. It respects the architectural MVC/MTV. I will explain what it is. It was released publicly under the BSD license in July 2005. And at 2008, there was created a non-profit foundation that called Django Software Foundation. That is a non-profit foundation, and it is responsible for the maintenance and administration of the framework. This foundation has profit by the corporate members and public fundings. The framework was named by the guitarist Django Reinhardt, if anyone knows who is it. The framework has been important for the community. It has organized and funding sprints for Django developers to know themselves. It had contributed for third-party apps, that some that apps goes into the framework. It's like Self and this improve Postgres support Django. Self, it's a migration tool that Django support. And Postgres support, it's like it is the last version of Postgres. It has no SQL system, and they develop the on the REM to support that no SQL. Django REST framework, it was funded. They've funded on Kickstarter, and it is an app to do an API, RESTful. More things there, they fund groups and from the community that promotes and create events like Django Girls and some groups on the community. This pony, it's like the old logo of the community. The foundation promotes to the framework. Let me see more. There are a semi-annual event called DjangoCon. This held annual in Europe, America, United States, and Australia. And they always sold out the event. On PyCon and DjangoCon this year, it was in Florence, I think so. It started at Monday and finished today. Yeah, they always on Europe. They switch for the city. I hope in a few years it can be in Faro. And they always go to the PyCon that is bigger than DjangoCon. This is the releases of the framework. The last release was this week, was 1.11, and every 8 months they release a version, and they have a long-term support every 2 releases. Have I said before, Django follows the MTV architecture instead of the conventional MVC. I will explain because conventional it's debated. We can discuss what is the standard. In this case, the model, it's the data. We all know that. But the view on the view on the framework, it's not what data it will represent. What data presents or what you can see. Which data it will be present. And the template, it's what the data presents the data on the framework. And the controller is all the framework. It's the framework control the request that goes to the view according to the URL. I hope it is not was much complicated, but here's an example of the architecture. There's a request goes passed by the layer through the layers of the middleware. The middleware have layers, like one responsible for security, one responsible for authentication, one responsible for sessions. You can use what Django offer, or no, use none of them, or do it your own. Then the requests pass to your URL that will find a match for that request. And that match goes to the view. The view, it is, how I said before, it's responsible to collect the data with the REM, and the REM will connect to the database, and then pass that data to the load template. On this load template, the template loader will decide which template engine will be used, because we can use 2 template engines, and then pass to the middleware and the response. How I said before, the principle of the Django, it's don't repeat yourself. All the code that you do on Django, it is used onto other projects. Don't think that code that you are doing, it's only for that project. This is the structure of your project. You have to install the Django first. They can go to the website and follow the website to install it, and then go to the console and Django admins start project my site. This is the simple template that they give, but you can use your own template project. The project it is your site. This is the structure of the project. It has a manager that run the server in development or run some commands. And inside the project you have the apps. This is one the project the app it is in the project inside. My site on the second one is the app. It is a app too. It have an empty file calling it. It have a settings that you can configure the database, the templating, cache. You have the URLs for the routing, and the whiskey for that is for the server. And then inside the project, you create the apps. The apps, you can reuse it for other projects. You do Python manage start app pools, and this is the structure of the app. Again, you can put the template. You can define a template for that app. This is a basic one. It has this structure. You have an empty file in it that say to Django that this is an app. It has an admin. I hope I have time to represent the admin. It has apps. Oh, shit. This is new. I don't remember what this apps is for. There is a migration folder. It's because Django support migration. There is model, tests, and views. There are something missing. There is they're actually called template 2. Sorry about that. We just began with the models. The model represents the table on the database, and each attribute represents the field on the table on the database. When you do a migration file, the migrator will create the SQL for the models. The migration system, it's very useful for the models. You can change the models, and the framework detects that was changed and create other file with that migration. Then you have, for each migration, it generates a file, and you can go back or forward on the migration. As you can see, there is each field has its own type: char field, integer field, datetime, a lot of fields that it support. And the relation models, we have, example, many-to-one relation, where the foreign keys go to the car. If you got an instance of car and said that instance dot manufacturer, it will return you the object manufacturer. Have many-to-many relation, one-to-one relation. It's not very useful, one-to-one relation. What we do is we extend the model with the father model, and he creates one model. To create a model, just import the model and give the attributes and save. To change it, just the instance dot the attribute and equal and save it. It's simple. It will generate the create to the database. There is in the model there is a manage API that is associated with the object that is a REM that goes to the database, collect the data, and do the mapping for the objects. And this filter, it will return you the query set with all objects. You go the class dot objects dot filter, and then the field inside and the underscore. It's the operator you can put it. In this example, it's like less than equal. You can put greater than equal. They have a lot of operators, and this will generate the SQL in the bottom. This object you can do your own manage. We on Django sometimes we change the manage of the objects, and to reuse it, and you can custom all these methods like filters, get, exclude. There is a lot, but sometimes it is not enough. You have to create them. This is a simple. This REM, it's simple because it has to be simple. I know a lot of REM that is complicated, and when it complicates, I prefer a raw SQL. If the Django REM doesn't fit for me, I use the raw SQL, but nowadays it's rare to use the raw SQL. The query set are lazy. That means you can put a filter and filter again and exclude that the REM don't go to the database. He conserves the filters, and when you print, if you use the query set, he goes to the database and go fetch the data. This is the REL. It has a regex. You can define rejecting. It's good in that. The second one, it said. Let me see what is. I think. Yeah. Okay. You can extend. You can include RELs from apps to apps. In this case, there is a root. How can I go back? This REL here, it's the root one, and it says that everything started with the /pool will include the other REL that have to be here, but it isn't not there. And this is the REL of the pool. That's why the root REL it starts with the /pools, and the second one it says the question ID have to be a number, and there is a number of /results and vote, and go to call back to the view, to the function view. This is the view. We have the index explain what I said before. With the REM we get the question pub date on the he would order on descendant, and then that date and load the template. When you put a loader get template, that loader will define what template engine will be used, and then create the context and response with the template. This is a shortcut of over there, and instead of load the templates and go create the context and go to a HTTP response, you have the render shortcut for the render and put it in one line. This is the view. So this is a class-based view. We on Django we recommended that use more class-based view instead of function view. The difference is that the function view can do big things that involve too many models. In the class-based view, it's simple. It's like crude. You have a model. You work on that model. It lists the model. This one lists. You have to put the query set there. Just say the template, and he generates he renders the template with the pages, with the objects inside, and more context there. There is a list view. There is an update view. It's if you want to only work with the model, just the class-based view, it's better. Django template. The Django template was many templates on the market was inspired by the Django template. This is the Django template. It's like for brackets to brackets. It's to print the variable. You have for. It is simple. You have to be simple template engine, because we don't want logic on there, like create variable or vars or something like that. It is quite simple. And the Django supports two template engines, the Jinja 2 and its own engine template. I think that Jinja 2 is a bit more faster than the Django template. I don't know if I have time, but I will show you the Django admin that will generate. Django, it has a multi-language system. You can, on the project, you just say what strings you want to translate, and he compiles to one file, and you translate it and compile again, and it goes to the project. I think who know the PHP guys knows what I'm talking about, because they have a system similar with the Django. Cache system. The cache system is very important. Use only cache. Cache is important. On Django, it supports multiple cache system. We can put memcache. I use in some project memcache and Redis for different reasons. But I can cache the whole view. We can cache blocks of templating. We can cache the whole templating. We can cache the SQL that the ORM generate. Like we can cache this result without the parameters, because this will go like logic and will lose not much time, but you can gain time with if this is dynamic. And this is static on the ORM. You can gain it if you cache it. It have a test unit for quality. That test unit is exclusive for the app, not for the project. You have put that in mind. Everything you do, it's for the app, and then to export the app. It supports multi-database. You can put multi-database engines inside. It supports MySQL, Postgres. It supports Oracle. What is the name of the Microsoft's? No, it's SQL Server. Yeah, that's the SQL Server. It supports that database. The common thing that we use multi-database at, we have two databases. One, it's optimized for write and update, and the other one, it's optimized for reading. And they are a mirror one each other. And to create the update, we use the optimized that is optimized for that, and to read, we use the that is optimized for the reading. You have to do some routings there, but it's not. It is simple. There is. This is a future thing. I didn't use it, and then again, we don't use that either. It's the channel. The channel is the new thing of Django that is not inside of the framework. It's outside, but the foundation will support it. It's a synchronized programming that the community uses for synchronizing use WebSocket with Node.js for that, not the channels. I think channels is not very mature for that. I don't know if I have time, but I think the other one it's at the end of. Oh, okay. This is your application. This is the architecture of the application. This is my favorite architecture that we use in Django 2. The request goes to the Nginx. The Nginx goes like a proxy, goes to the uWhisky, where this uWhisky it's where you run your app, and your app will go to the database, fetching the data, and we will respond. We always on Django we use uWhisky or Unicorn, but I prefer uWhisky. And the other one we use Apache. We have mods inside Apache that runs the app, and it's do the same. But the Apache there, it's not a proxy. It's not a proxy web server. It's only to serve the web page. Let me see if I can show the admin here. Whoops. This is the structure of the app, as you can see. I think I can do this without fussing that. Damn it. Is it the same, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. I'm going to run Docker. I will put this in my GitHub. It is mounted. We go start. Done. Weak. Oh God. I don't know the password for this. Let me try. Yeah. Okay. You create the model, and what you can do with the model, you do the same thing. You view the model, the data. You create an object. You delete it. You update it, and with this principle, they created administration. You resist that model on admin, and he create the page. It is a simple page, but it's only for managing, not for publicly. It is I didn't see this layout yet. They have a permission system inside the administration. You have here the question that we use to. You have the filters. The question, like you have the question there and the choices. It's quite cool. Save it. Yeah. Okay. This is generated by the forms that goes to the Python the Django, the framework has the form models that you attach the models onto the form, and that form will validate the data that goes to into the post. You have the users. Yeah, this is this you can customize all the layout thing. We on Django we have our own layout. Put Bootstrap inside and just change the filters and stuff like that. To resist the model on the admin, we go. This is the structure that we saw, and there is the admin. I think you can see it. Yeah. Whoops. To resist the model is simple. It's this. It have a bunch of options. You create the choice field and create the question that you have to send to the model admin. Put some field set what you want to see on the admin, and then resist that question on the question admin, and then he generates the page. Simple. Well, let's go to the presentation. By the way, for the apps, if you use the community apps, be careful, because there are a lot of apps on the GitHub, and you have to see if that app it is always continuous updating, and there is test for that app. It is cool to fetch one app that we see that we wanted to do. We wanted to integrate on a project, but be careful with that, because if they leave that app, they didn't upgrade them, you will be stuck on that version on Django. Django, if you have seen the Django, it is a big framework, but if you can customize or remove things. I think you can remove things to be more light. This is the settings. You can remove it. There is a middleware. You can remove it. This is security, or it is that's middleware. It is good middleware. But if you don't want it, if it is a simple API, you can remove it. It will be more light for the framework. This is a template engine. You can choose. Yeah, and here is the databases. You can. In this case, it used the Postgres database. This is the company that uses Django. You can see on their blog they have use cases that it can handle a lot of requests, like Pinterest, Instagram, Discuss, NASA, Prezi, even Eventbrite. Eventbrite have some core developer there. Mozilla, National Geographic, yeah. They all use Django. Okay, that's all, folks.